Papua New Guinea is a land of captivating beauty and extraordinary cultural diversity. Nestled in the southwestern Pacific, this island nation is a mosaic of natural wonders and vibrant cultures. Its lush rainforests, pristine beaches, and rugged mountains are home to over 800 distinct language groups. Each of these groups has its own unique traditions, languages, and ways of life, making Papua New Guinea one of the most culturally diverse countries in the world. This nation boasts a rich tapestry of traditions and customs. From the highlands to the coastal regions, the cultural heritage of Papua New Guinea is celebrated through vibrant festivals, intricate dances, and age-old rituals that have been passed down through generations. PNG possesses abundant natural resources including gold, copper, oil, and natural gas. These resources have the potential to transform the nation's economy and improve the living standards of its people. These resources hold the promise of prosperity for its people. Investments in mining and energy sectors have led to the development of infrastructure and community projects, bringing hope to many. However, PNG also grapples with widespread corruption that hampers its development and perpetuates poverty. Corruption scandals have plagued the nation, diverting resources away from essential services and infrastructure. Despite its natural wealth, PNG faces significant challenges in translating its resource advantages into tangible benefits for its citizens. Many communities still lack access to basic amenities such as clean water, healthcare, and education. Corruption has taken root in many sectors of society. It affects everything from business dealings to government contracts, creating an environment where trust is eroded and progress is stifled. It undermines the rule of law, erodes public trust, and hinders economic growth. Efforts to combat corruption are ongoing, but the road to transparency and accountability is long and arduous. Papua New Guinea consistently ranks poorly in global corruption indices, reflecting the systemic nature of the problem. Addressing these issues is crucial for the nation's future, as it strives to fulfill its promise and overcome its paradoxes. One of the root causes of PNG's persistent corruption lies in the weakness of its institutions. These institutions, which are supposed to be the pillars of governance, often fail to perform their duties effectively. Key institutions, including the judiciary, the police, and the public service, often lack the capacity and independence to function effectively. The judiciary, for instance, is frequently underfunded and lacks the necessary resources to carry out its mandate. This weakness creates an environment where corrupt practices can thrive with impunity. In bustling markets and crowded urban areas, the lack of oversight allows corruption to seep into everyday transactions. Limited resources, inadequate training, and political interference undermine the ability of these institutions to uphold the law and hold corrupt officials accountable. Police stations are often underfunded, and public servants lack the necessary training to perform their duties effectively. Low salaries and a lack of professional development opportunities create incentives for officials to engage in corrupt activities to supplement their incomes. Office workers and public servants, struggling to make ends meet, may resort to unethical practices. This institutional weakness creates a vicious cycle where corruption further weakens institutions, perpetuating a culture of impunity. Protests against corruption are common, but without strong institutions, these efforts often fall short. The cycle continues, leaving government offices in disrepair and the public disillusioned. Political instability has also contributed significantly to the pervasiveness of corruption in PNG. The country has experienced numerous votes of no confidence and changes in government since its independence in 1975. This instability creates uncertainty and short-termism in policymaking, discouraging long-term investment and sustainable development. The resource curse phenomenon, where resource-rich countries often experience poor governance and corruption, is also evident in PNG. The abundance of natural resources creates opportunities for rent-seeking behavior by politicians and bureaucrats who seek to enrich themselves at the expense of the nation's wealth. Culture and corruption, a complex relationship. Cultural and social factors also play a role in perpetuating corruption in Papua New Guinea. Traditional systems of patronage and reciprocity, while important for social cohesion in many contexts, can create fertile ground for nepotism and favoritism. Tribal and clan loyalties often supersede national interests, leading to the prioritization of personal connections over merit and fairness. Furthermore, a culture of silence and fear of reprisal can prevent citizens from speaking out against corruption. Whistleblowers often face intimidation, harassment, or even violence for exposing wrongdoing. This reluctance to challenge those in power allows corrupt practices to continue unchecked. The path forward towards transparency and accountability. Addressing Papua New Guinea's deep-seated corruption requires a multifaceted approach that tackles both the symptoms and the root causes of the problem. Strengthening institutions, promoting good governance, and fostering a culture of accountability are crucial steps in the right direction. This journey towards transparency and accountability is not just about implementing policies, but also about changing mindsets and behaviors at every level of society. Community leaders play a pivotal role in this transformation. By engaging with citizens and promoting ethical practices, they can help build a foundation of trust and integrity. Government officials must lead by example, demonstrating their commitment to transparency through their actions and decisions. Anti-corruption agencies, such as the Ombudsman Commission, are at the forefront of this battle. These agencies need to be empowered with the necessary resources, independence, and legal frameworks to investigate and prosecute corruption cases effectively. Their work is essential in ensuring that those who engage in corrupt practices are held accountable. The Independent Commission Against Corruption also plays a critical role. It must be supported to operate without fear or favor, ensuring that no one is above the law. This includes providing adequate funding, training, and legislative backing to carry out its mandate effectively. Legal professionals and the judiciary are equally important in this fight. They must uphold the highest standards of integrity and impartiality, ensuring that justice is served without bias. Continuous training and development for legal practitioners can help maintain these standards. Civil society organizations and the media also play a vital role in holding those in power accountable by exposing corruption, advocating for reforms, and promoting transparency. Their efforts in investigative journalism and public advocacy are crucial in shining a light on corrupt practices and pushing for necessary changes. Ultimately, tackling corruption in Papua New Guinea requires a sustained commitment from both the government and the people. It demands a fundamental shift in attitudes and behaviors, embracing a culture of integrity, accountability, and the rule of law. This cultural shift is essential for creating an environment where corruption is not tolerated and where ethical behavior is the norm. Education and awareness campaigns are vital in this regard. By educating citizens about their rights and the importance of transparency, we can empower them to demand accountability from their leaders. Workshops, seminars, and public discussions can help spread this message and foster a more informed and engaged populace. Embracing a culture of integrity, accountability, and the rule of law is not just the responsibility of the government but of every citizen. Integrity pledge signing ceremonies and public awareness campaigns can serve as powerful reminders of the collective commitment to these values. The judiciary must continue to uphold the rule of law, ensuring that justice is served fairly and impartially. Government officials taking an oath to serve with integrity is a step in the right direction, but it must be followed by consistent actions that reflect this commitment. Only through comprehensive reforms and strong governance can Papua New Guinea break free from the grip of corruption and unlock its true potential for its people. A thriving, transparent, and accountable society is within reach, but it requires the collective effort of every individual, community, and institution to make it a reality. The role of international aid and partnerships. International aid and partnerships play a crucial role in supporting Papua New Guinea's efforts to combat corruption and promote development. Foreign governments, international organizations, and non-governmental organizations provide financial assistance, technical expertise, and capacity-building programs to strengthen PNG's institutions and governance. These partnerships can help bridge resource gaps, enhance transparency, and foster accountability. However, it is essential to ensure that aid is used effectively and does not inadvertently contribute to corruption. Effective monitoring, evaluation, and coordination mechanisms are necessary to maximize the impact of international assistance and support PNG's journey towards a more transparent and accountable society. The impact of corruption on everyday life. Corruption in Papua New Guinea has far-reaching consequences for the daily lives of its citizens. It affects access to essential services such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Corrupt practices can lead to the misallocation of resources, resulting in inadequate public services and infrastructure development. Citizens may face difficulties in obtaining necessary permits, licenses, or government assistance without resorting to bribery. This pervasive corruption erodes public trust in government institutions and undermines social cohesion. Addressing these issues requires a concerted effort to promote transparency, accountability, and good governance at all levels of society. Success stories and lessons learned. Despite the challenges, there have been success stories in the fight against corruption in Papua New Guinea. Various initiatives and reforms have shown promise in promoting transparency and accountability. For example, community-driven development projects that involve local stakeholders in decision-making processes have demonstrated positive outcomes. Additionally, digital technologies and e-governance solutions have the potential to reduce opportunities for corruption by streamlining processes and enhancing transparency. Learning from these success stories and scaling up effective interventions can provide valuable lessons for future anti-corruption efforts in PNG.